Welcome to the SoCon preview show. I'm glad to be joined with the first-year head coach at UT-Chattanooga, Deandra Schirmer. Coach, it's so great to meet you.
Thank you for having me. It's great to be here.
Yeah, so how's it going? I mean, this is your first year. It's not your first year as a head coach. You've had great success at Valdosta State. Tell us a little bit about your team and how things are going so far in your first year.
Well, it's been fantastic being welcomed into community that not only is used to winning, but used to supporting women's basketball and having so much success. And so for me, it's been one of those things about continuing the tradition and the excellence that they've had. And being in a position to be successful right off the bat, I think has been a very good situation to come into. And I think the biggest part of that is the culture and kind of the team and how that team was built up. Coach Poppy, previous to me, has done a fantastic job here at Chattanooga and building that identity of a championship culture. And so coming into it, our expectation is to win as well. And so having players that know what that takes and know what that looks like and the sacrifice that you have to give in order to be successful, we're just really thankful to be a part of that and excited to put our fresh mark and our stamp on Chattanooga women's basketball.
Well, you certainly know something about success. You won 79% of your games at Valdosta State, including D2 tournament, and having success there. You're coming off a season where you won 30 games last year. What kind of style of play should we see out of the way you like to play and what you want to do?
Well, we've had a lot of success with the Princeton offense. And I think when you look at the women's game and teams that have historically won the Princeton offense with Stanford and Notre Dame and UConn, they've all had a lot of success at this level. So I think it's something that really translates from Division II to Division I. And I also think that we have the players for it. We have high IQ players that are very disciplined and are very good at making those decisions, making those reads. And so we're excited to implement that and show that off in the SoCon conference. And I also think from a defensive standpoint, that's been their calling card the past two seasons, being a defensive juggernaut. And so we really do have that team that has that intelligence level to be able to defend to scout and be able to come out. And whether we have, favorable matchups or not defensively, we're going to be able to come up with a game plan to make sure we're slowing down the other team. So I think being aggressive and dictating offensively and defensively is kind of what we're looking to do.
You had me at Princeton offense. I love the unpredictability, the unscoutability of it. And then, when you have traditionally a league that doesn't get dominated by bigs, you have a lot of players that can pass and cut and catch and score. I'm assuming that that's the way you like to play, and that's what we're going to see out of your team.
Absolutely. And I think you can also look at our group. There's a lot of versatility. When you look at last year's roster, they ran a lot of 5-out action to begin with. And so adding in a little bit more rules to that is something that I think can be very beneficial for us.
When you prepare for the season, knowing the kind of success that you had, you certainly don't need any validation as a head coach. You've already had success, you've won. But when you're coming into this league, a league that has been branded as a really good basketball league, what are some of the things that you have to be able to do well to be able to win a championship here?
Well, I feel like when you look at kind of the blueprint of teams that have success, you have to have success on the road. It's a very tough schedule when it comes to very good road environments. And, last year being undefeated on foreign soil, I guess you could say, but on the road games, that team was able to go on the road and, dominate a little bit. And that's something that when you're playing in a conference where there's a lot of parity, there's a lot, the log jam that was the conference last season. In order to separate yourself, you have to play well on the road. We know that we're going to have the fans. We're going to have a great atmosphere here in McKenzie Arena, but can we go on the road and handle our business in a atmosphere that's going to be coming for us, that we're going to have that big target on our back. So I think having the maturity to be successful on the road is really going to be what we're going to focus on going into this conference season.
That means you have good guard play because
Yes.
You can't go on the road and win without good guard play. Tell us a little bit about your backcourt and the experience that's there that has from a team that won 28 games last year at UTC.
Yeah, well, we right now are returning 3 starters. And, when you look at that, 2 of those are from our backcourt, and we have with me today, we have Sigrun, who was, a great juggernaut, not only defensively, but came along a little bit offensively as well with her shooting and being able to stretch the court. And then we had a dynamic point guard in Kaya, who is returning as well. And she was able to start some games and then come off and be kind of that 6-man and give us that jolt offensively that they needed. And so I think having the veteran experience there, and then Karsen is with us today, and she was one of the players that was a starting 5 for us. But when you talk about that versatility, we like having her at the guard right now, with her size and her ability and being able to stretch the court with her shooting. We're excited to play her at a lot of different roles this season. So with the 3 that were our starters that are returning, their versatility pieces, being able to shift in and out, it really fits our Princeton offense. But then also when you look at some of the players that we brought in, coming with me was our first team All-American Khalifa Ford. And she was somebody that was player of the year in our conference. And she's somebody who's a dynamic scoring guard that knows our system, knows me as a coach, and understands exactly what we're looking for and what it takes to be successful. So I think, those pieces have been big pieces for us. And then also we brought in a transfer from North Al, who was also, averaging around 10 points per game, shooting guard. So we're really excited about our guard lineup. And I haven't even talked about our freshmen yet. So we'll keep that a secret for now. Everybody else can look at the stats on everybody who's played. But our freshmen, I'm really excited about that group.
Coach, you obviously have a lot of energy. You're young. You've been experienced as a head coach. You've won. Tell me a little bit about the difference between the players that win and the players that compete, because there's 2 different ways to look at that. And I can tell that just by your expression that you have a good answer for this.
I mean, it was just the other day in practice, I was telling them, I'm not teaching you how to play basketball. You already know how to play basketball. I'm teaching you how to be a champion. And there's 2 completely different things with that. And as you know, to have success and to be at that championship level, there's so many intangible pieces that you need that aren't necessarily basketball related, whether that's leadership, whether that's communication, whether that's how you respond to challenges. Are you discouraged? Are you determined? There's a lot of different pieces where we have a lot of players on our team who already know that, who've already been in the fire and know what it's like, and that's been very, very good. I told you we have a very talented freshman class that I'm really excited about, but we're teaching them how to be champions, not just how to play basketball. And that's something that's been a fun process for us. And it's a lot of competitive drills. It's a lot of coaches going to challenge you and put you in impossible situations. How do you respond to that? And they've responded pretty well so far. And so that's the part that I really enjoy, is seeing, okay, we know that you're a talented basketball player, but how do you respond in those game-winning situations? So we've had some fun with it so far.
Listen, Deandra Schirmer, I'm happy to see you in the SoCon, but I can tell you that you're one of 3 new coaches in this league, and I don't think the rest of them are going to be happy to be seeing you, because I can tell by your energy and your incredible competitiveness that you're going to put a product on the floor that is going to raise everybody's level, not just your own team, but everybody in the SoCon. So thank you so much for being with us on this preview show.
Thank you so much for having me. Absolutely. And as excited as we are, we know it's going to be a challenge. So for me, I love challenges. So that's why I got a big smile on my face and I'm ready to go. So.
You keep that smile all the way through March, Coach. We'll look forward to watching your team this season. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Welcome to the SoCon preview show from UTC. We got a couple of seniors, Sigrun Olafsdottir and Karsen Murphy. Ladies, thank you for being with us.
Thank you for having us.
Okay, listen, you got a whole new environment here at UTC with Coach Schirmer in, and she seems to have a lot of energy. Sigrun, tell us a little bit about how practice has been going so far.
Yeah, they've been going really good. Our team has a lot of energy. You know how she is, so she brings it with us. It's just been really good.
Karsen, there's been a lot of talk about the talent on this team. Tell me a little bit about style of play and what you anticipate, since you're one of the veteran players from this group returning.
I'm super excited about what we're going to bring to the court. We have a ton of talent on this team, a lot of versatility, as Coach was saying. So we're super excited to put all the pieces together.
Sigrun, in a style called the Princeton offense, which Coach says you guys are going to play, as somebody who loves to shoot the three, as a matter of fact, 65% of the shots you took last year were from three. This has got to be a style of play that's got to be really exciting for you. How did you prepare for this?
Yes, I'm very excited. I think it's going to fit my style very well, and honestly, the whole team. So we're going to play fast, but also have a lot of reads and probably a lot of open shots. So I'm really excited about that.
Karsen, when you started prepping in the offseason for the Princeton offense and with your skill set, your ability to run the floor, I know you're a good screener. I know you can play in this Princeton style very successfully. What are some of the things that you think that you'll be able to add to your game that will help your team?
I'm super excited to be out on the perimeter a little more and being able to, make the reads of driving to the basket, but also being able to post up on the guards as well and just be able to show my versatility with shooting, with driving, and with posting up. So definitely been adding some more ball handling skill and just making better reads.
Yeah, Karsen, I know you're going to be a 3-level scorer this year, aren't you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, that's what we want to hear. That's good. I'm all about offense, so we're not going to spend any of our time talking about defense because I don't really care about playing any defense. And I hope the SoCon is a shoot till your arm falls off league because to me, that's what it is when you have the kind of guard play that you have. Sigrun, what about the guards in this league that make it so challenging and make this league so competitive?
I think all of the guards can shoot the ball pretty well, so it can be hard to guard when they can shoot and drive, but it'll be fun to watch what they bring this year.
Karsen, tell me a little bit about the fan base there. Traditionally, UTC has had a great fan base. There's great tradition there. This is a program that has won more SoCon titles than anyone, been to the NCAA tournament more than anyone. What would you say about the fan base and how that energizes your group?
100%. There's a reason I've been at Chattanooga for 4 years. The community here is amazing. So many people are invested in women's basketball, and that only encourages you and inspires you just to keep working hard every day to win, not just for your teammates and your coaches, but for the community as well, who have put so much into this program. So it's definitely a blessing.
Coach Poppy moved on to Clemson, and last year you guys won 28 games. This is a team that has a winning culture, has a championship culture. How has Coach Schirmer enhanced that, Sigrun?
I think she's just going to keep on building on what Coach Poppy built here, like the culture, the standard. It's going to stay the same. We're going to keep on that tradition of winning and just excellence in general.
Karsen, because you're a veteran of the league and one of the players, as you mentioned, that's been around for 4 years, that's kind of an odd situation in today's college basketball landscape. What is it about UTC outside of the fan base that you already mentioned that keeps you wanting to come back and staying at a high level with your game?
I love the South. I mean, I love living down here. I love the weather. It's always great. You said outside the fan base, but honestly, the community here is what's kept me here for all 4 years. Like, being able to play with Sigrun has been awesome, and just being able to meet new people every year and just, I don't know what else to say outside the fan base because it's honestly the fan base and the community that keeps bringing me here for sure.
Sigrun, I want to give you a chance to answer that.
Yeah, I think it's just the teammates too, like the team's atmosphere, like we really love each other. It's the culture that brings me back every year too.
A lot of people talk about culture, chemistry, and identity at the beginning part of the season. It's hard to keep that conversation flowing unless you work on it every day. What are a couple of things that you guys do as leaders on this team to keep the culture and the identity at a high level?
You got it. Being able to be back-to-back champs, there's a standard and an expectation that we've set here. And so I think with the returners coming and also the newcomers, it's just being able to hold everybody to that expectation and to that standard. We know what it takes to win, and we're not going to fall back any less than what it takes.
Well, Sigrun Olafsdottir and Karsen Murphy, thank you for being with us. A couple of seniors at UTC that know a little bit about winning in the SoCon. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.